Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're going to break down a topic that is literally a game changer for so many families. We're talking about exactly how to apply for SNAP benefits online in the state of Nevada. We've taken the official guidelines, pulled the latest data, and distilled the whole thing down into a super straightforward step-by-step guide just for you. Now, let's be real for a second. Between making rent, keeping the lights on, and staring in absolute disbelief at your grocery receipt lately, making ends meet in Nevada can be unbelievably stressful right now. If you're struggling to balance all these rising costs, listen to me, you are not alone. Thousands of hardworking folks, families, and older adults are in the exact same boat, facing impossible choices between paying the bills and buying nutritious food. But there is a safety net built specifically for this situation. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. Introduction to Nevada SNAP. 2. Checking your eligibility. 3. Gathering your documents. 4. Applying online, step by step. 5. FAQs and troubleshooting. And finally, 6. Recap and next steps. Let's start with Section 1, Introduction to Nevada SNAP. So what exactly is this program? Well, SNAP stands for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. You might remember it being called food stamps back in the day, but now it's basically just a standard debit card. If you qualify, the state gives you an EBT card, that's electronic benefits transfer, and every single month, funds are loaded right onto it to supplement your grocery budget. The whole point is to make sure families can actually afford healthy food, taking off some of that financial heat so you can focus on getting ahead and moving toward long-term self-sufficiency. Moving right along to Section 2, checking your eligibility. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is who actually qualifies. A lot of people just assume, oh, I make too much money, I won't get it. But the rules are way more flexible than you might think. Working families absolutely do qualify. Looking at the 2026 federal poverty level guidelines here, for a single person, the gross income limit is about $1,632 a month. For a family of 3, it's roughly $2,798, and for a family of 4, it's right around $3,380. But here is the absolutely critical part. This is your gross income. That means before taxes. The state actually looks at your net income, what you have left after certain deductions, to make their final decision. To put this into perspective, let's look at a couple of scenarios. Imagine a family of 4 in Reno making $3,200 gross. That is very close to that $3,380 limit. But once you deduct their rent and their childcare costs, their net income drops well within the qualifying range. Or take scenario 2, a working couple with a kid in Henderson making $2,900. Again, they're slightly over the gross limit for 3 people, but daycare deductions or super high utility bills can completely save their eligibility. The big takeaway here, if you are anywhere near these limits, you should definitely apply. Let the state do the math for you. And speaking of the math, 188. That is the average monthly SNAP benefit for a one-person household in 2026. I want to highlight this specifically for our older adults, anyone 60 and up, or folks with disabilities. Special rules apply to you. If you have out-of-pocket medical bills over $35 a month, you can deduct those, and that can significantly bump up your monthly benefit amount. That $188 can be a massive help when you're trying to make it work on a fixed income. All right, Section 3, gathering your documents. Once you decide to apply, the secret to a totally smooth, stress-free process is preparation. Seriously, before you even sit down at your computer, get this checklist together. You'll need a Nevada ID, and actually a picture ID isn't even required. You'll need Social Security numbers for everyone applying in your household, and proof of income, like recent pay stubs or an award letter from Social Security. And remember those deductions we just talked about? To get those, you absolutely must have proof of your rent and utilities, like a rent receipt or your power bill, plus records of any child care or out-of-pocket medical expenses. Having all these papers in a stack right next to you makes the online process incredibly fast. Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds, applying online step by step. Okay, here's the quickest way to apply in Nevada. You're going to go directly to the official state portal at accessnevada.nv.gov. Right there on the homepage, you'll see options to either create account or apply as a guest. Now, you can totally apply as a guest, but I highly recommend creating an account. All you need is a basic email address. Having an account lets you save your progress if you need to go grab a document, you can track your application status later, and you can easily manage your benefits once you're approved. Once you're logged in, the system is actually really user-friendly. Just click Apply for Benefits, and then make sure you check the box that specifically says Food Assistance, SNAP.
From there, the screen will just walk you through questions about your household, your income, and your expenses. It generally takes about 20 to 30 minutes from start to finish. And please don't worry about privacy. All your personal information on this portal is 100% secure and protected by state technology.
Section 5. FAQs and troubleshooting. It is totally normal to have some anxieties or run into questions during this process. First up, what if your cupboards are completely bare and you literally need help right this second? I want you to remember the number 7. That is how many days it takes to get what's called expedited SNAP. If your household's gross monthly income is less than $150 and you have $100 or less in the bank, or if your rent and utilities are actually higher than your total income, you qualify for emergency processing. Just make sure you let them know your exact situation on the application so they can fast-track your benefits within 7 days. Next FAQ, the dreaded interview. After you submit your application online, a Division of Social Services caseworker will call you for a quick phone interview. Please do not panic about this. As our source material perfectly puts it, the SNAP interview is not a test. They aren't trying to trick you, and they aren't looking for a reason to disqualify you. They are literally just double-checking the numbers you typed into the computer to make sure everything is accurate. So pick up the phone, even if caller ID says unknown caller, and just be ready to confirm your rent amount, who lives with you, and your income. Easy. Once you finally have the card in your hand, people always want to know, what can I actually buy with it? The general rule of thumb is that it's for food you prepare at home. Approved items include fruits, vegetables, meat, bread, dairy, and, this is a really cool little detail, you can even buy seeds and plants to grow your own food. Prohibited items, on the other hand, include alcohol, hot, ready-to-eat foods from the deli counter, and non-food items like toilet paper, soap, or pet food. And finally, Section 6. Recap and next steps. We have covered a ton of ground today, from income limits to navigating the portal itself. So the crucial point is understanding the timeline so you aren't left in the dark wondering what happens next. Day 1 is today, when you submit your application and upload your documents on Access Nevada. Sometime within week 1 or 2, you'll get that call to complete your brief phone interview with DSS. By day 30, at the absolute latest, unless, of course, you qualify for that 7-day expedited service, you will receive your final decision letter and your brand new EBT card right in the mail. And listen, if you get stuck at any point, you absolutely do not have to do this alone. There are fantastic, completely free resources available all across Nevada. You can always visit your local DSS office in person, but if you're in Southern Nevada, you can call the 3 Square Center at 1-702-765-4030. Up north, the Food Bank of Northern Nevada has a dedicated SNAP hotline at 1-775-331-3663. And for our older adults, you can call the National Council on Aging helpline at 1-800-794-6559. These amazing specialists can actually complete the entire application with you right over the phone. Before we wrap up, just a quick reminder. While we have exhaustively researched the current state guidelines to build this explainer for you, policies and income limits do update periodically. This explainer is here to provide general guidance, so always make sure to consult the official Nevada Division of Social Services website or talk to a local caseworker for the most current, up-to-date information regarding your specific situation. Which brings us to our final question for you. Are you ready to claim the benefits you deserve and take the stress out of your grocery budget today? You now have the roadmap, you know exactly where the portal is, and you know what documents to grab. There is absolutely no shame in utilizing a program designed specifically to keep your family healthy and fed. So get your documents together, head over to Access Nevada, and take that first step. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.